Hey friend, thank you for joining me on this episode 50, and it's a special one for me, a milestone of sorts, because I always have in my mind that I want to get to 100 episodes. I will get to 100 episodes and beyond, but 50 is special because kind of halfway through the journey, we keep going, and in today's episode, it's a solo show, and I'm sharing with you how I flexed a little bit and incorporated this simple strategy that has added to my profit line. And it's very simple. I'm going to share it with you. I'm opening the kimono, so to speak, giving you a peek under the tent as to what I'm doing as a result of COVID and how we have to be nimble. We have to flex a little. So in this episode, I promise to share with you something that you can quickly incorporate and which will add tremendous value to your clients. You ready? I am. Here we go. Hey there, I'm Patty Dominguez. You're about to discover what it means to position your brand and your business to stand out. This show explores the stories of small business owners just like you who are bringing their message out to the world and impacting their tribe. So if you want to take your business to a category of one status, then hang with me because this podcast shares everything you need to know about how to be more prolific with your brand so that you can have more profits. Hey there, my friend. Thanks for checking out today's show. Today, I am imparting a bit of wisdom from something that is road tested and has helped me out tremendously. Now, because of the COVID-19 situation, what had been happening is I was having some conversations with coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs. That's really my niche or niche, if you want to say that way. And typically the one-on-one coaching that I do, I have a specific amount of slots that are available for one-on-one coaching. And the first thing is I consolidate those coaching hours that I do one-on-one on specific time blocks and days of the week. So that has been something that's really helped me out because I don't know about you, but in the past I was just an open book. My calendar was my calendar. I had it fully open and I would, I was so willing to move my schedule around that other things took precedent. So I made other people's priority my priority. So that was the first thing. That was the first lesson I had to learn, is to have the specific time blocks, have my boundaries, have what I wanted to create for my life, right? For my work. And it's been so rewarding to have that. So I have what is called an arrow day week. And arrow days are basically my heavier days are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And what I mean by that is within those days, I have my specific blocks of time that I do my coaching. And what was happening because of the COVID-19 situation is that I was having conversations with prospective clients who were really interested. I mean, genuinely interested. And I can definitely tell when somebody's just kicking tires or when somebody is truly interested. The situation was, though, that because of what was going on, right, in the external environment, it was really kind of iffy. They're thinking, I don't know if this makes sense for me to do this right now because my coaching packages started at 3 months. So somebody that was interested in one-on-one coaching, I would have the requirement that they would have to sign up for a minimum of 3 months. They could do 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And typically the 12 months I don't do unless I've worked with them at least for 3, because again, you just want to test things out to make sure you're a good match, to make sure there's resonance. That's a big one for me. And I can more or less tell when we have that initial conversation if it's going to be somebody that I really want to work with, that I can really serve, that I can help, and of course, more specifically, that there's resonance. So when you have that, and it's a feeling, that you work on really understanding, like, okay, is this person going to be the right fit, right? Is it going to be light and right? Because if it feels heavy or yucky, trust me, it's not worth it. So that's the first thing. Now, what was happening is that people were like, okay, well, it's kind of too soon to tell. I don't know what's happening with this whole COVID situation or how that's going to impact what I'm doing, is what I was hearing from clients. So I happened to catch on a podcast. Don't ask me which one, because I swear to you, I don't remember. I hear so many podcasts at any given day. So I go for my walks or I go to do whatever cardio I'm doing. And I always have my ears my AirPods going where I'm listening to the podcasts that I have, and I have like a library of them. I've been listening to thousands of hours. And one of the podcasts that I was listening to was with a fellow marketer. His name is Dean Jackson, and he's been around for a very, very long time. He has been a marketer helping out real estate agents, etc. Really, really just a tried and true marketer, right? Knows what he's talking about. So he had happened to mention, as a very much of an kind of an aside, that one of the concepts that he was rolling out, or that fit really well for him, was this concept of a calling card. And I was like, okay, my ears were perked. I'm like, okay, this is something different. This makes a lot of sense. And he said that he was selling his coaching calling card. So kind of imagine it this way. Excuse me, sorry, I had to cough there. I didn't want to cough in your ear. Okay, so the coaching calling card is basically, so if you can imagine a punch card, you can sell a punch card of coaching hours to your clients. And he was saying that he would sell packages of 9 calls for his price point. The investment is pretty high. I mean, he's been around for a long time, and he works with very, very high level people. But he had incorporated this coaching calling card concept, and it was working really well. And he basically said that people can use the calls however they want, and they were able to fit it in, right, as long as it met the blocks of time that he had available. So I think the first thing to note is that you want to make sure that you have clarity on the call blocks that you want. Don't be like I was, where I was an open book. My calendar was completely exposed, and I would be like, sure, I can meet on Sunday at 7 a.m. No, I mean, I wasn't that bad, but it was almost that bad. So now I really have my week set out to when I want to work, the time blocks that I want to work. I am not a morning person, so I do not take any calls before 10:30 earliest. Why? Because I am not at my finest. I'm just not a morning person. I need the morning for myself and to do the things that I want to do. I say this to you because please don't call me in the morning. And if you have a specific way of working, right, really just like take note of that and honor what you want to do with your day, when you want to take your calls. If you want to pick up your kids and you want to have coffee with your husband in the morning, or your significant other, blah, blah, blah. Make sure that you are really slotting in those times and honoring that self-care that you have to focus on. The second part of it is that you can incorporate this coaching calling card concept. And so I plussed it. Like, I added my own flair, my own zhuzh. And what I do is that I sell a calling card of 10 or 12 calls. Right now I'm doing 12 because of COVID. I'm throwing in a couple of additional calls. So my coaching calling card is 12 calls. And what I thought to do is like, okay, I'm going to like add some more value there, right? I'm going to add some whipped cream and sprinkles to that sundae, so it's really compelling and sexy and awesome. So what I did is that I used an app called Voxer, Voxer. It is free to use. I have the premium account because I like the ability to recall my Voxes or not, or just have the history of them, etc. And basically Voxer is a walkie-talkie app. And in that walkie-talkie app, I would give access to my one-on-one clients, right? To those people, those clients that have invested in the coaching calling card. They get Voxer access to me one day before the call and one day after the call. And what happens is, when the call happens, right? Yes, it's recorded. I insist that my calls are all done on Zoom, right? Because I'm a visual person and I have to see their reactions or what they're thinking about, their body language, etc. So I don't do any of my calls on phone. That's just my preference. I also like the ability to record it, and they can, then I put in a playlist and I send their way so that they have the call recording that's available to them. So it really offers that value in addition to the fact that they have so they get the recording. The other thing that they get is Voxer access to me 24 hours before and 24 hours after the call. And so what that does is, as concepts and ideas and questions come to mind, they can drop me a Voxer. And in that Voxer, I say one thought, one idea for one Voxer, please. And the reason is because some people will go on and they'll just go into their stream of consciousness and like include 25 things in their Voxer. And so I'll miss things, right? Of course. And so what you do is like one idea, one thought in that Voxer so that I can best support you. And it works so well. So people love that feature because they can send me a Voxer. Then we have our call. And then the day after, they can Vox me as well. So if there's any pending thoughts, questions that came up, clarifying questions, things that I can help them with, so that they're feeling like they have enough to move forward and taking what they heard or what we worked together on the call or the coaching call and really moving forward with clarity. And I think that that has been supremely helpful. Okay, so we have the coaching calling card. They get the call recording. They get the Voxer access a day before and a day after. It's just something that I came up with because I thought, I'm like, wow, I know that that's something that would be really compelling to me to have that access. And then what I do is the client joins, they are investing in the coaching calling card, and I tell them about the Voxer, blah, blah, blah. Then about 3 days into the arrangement, the coaching calling card, they can use, by the way, so let me backtrack a little bit. They can use those calls however they want in a 12-month period. So this is what's really key. So this is where I noticed that there was a tremendous amount of conversion that happened. So if the issue was that, I don't know what's going to happen with COVID. I don't know if now's a good time to do coaching. But when I brought up the coaching calling card and I said, hey, you can buy this calling card. It's 12 calls. You can use it however you want in a 12-month period. They were like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Yes. So as long as you're using a 12-month period, you have my links, you can book your time. And then that way you can make the most of these calls for when you need them, for when you want to have them. And again, as long as you're booking according to my schedule, it works. So I have clients that really want to make a most of holding on to those calls for when they need me in an emergency. And then I have other clients that want to do some kind of a launch. So they want to have more calls. So I have one client that she booked 3 calls in a week. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is so great because I could really book you however it is that I need. So it's like a coach on demand type of situation. So they really, really see the value. And again, you're not working anymore because your time blocks are your time blocks. And so as long as they say, hey, first come, first serve, make sure to grab your time slots so that you don't miss out. So because the availability is what it is, right? It's been so good. You guys, I cannot even begin to express how nice and easy it is. And it really shows that value to your clients. They love it. Okay, and then to make it even more valuable, but wait, there's more. To make it even more valuable, what I do is to surprise and delight, because again, you always want to add that layer of surprise and delight for people so they feel that they are getting something extra and unexpected, and it brings a smile to their face, and I love, love, love doing it. So what I do for my surprise and delight factor, which you should always incorporate that in your marketing, it's so important. I send an email about 3 days later and I said, guess what? Because you're a VIP client, I invite them to get 3 months access to my continuity membership, which is Prolific Plus. I have soft launched it, by the way, if you're interested in group coaching every week with a whole myriad of awesome courses and a new course every 6 weeks. Check out prolific.cafe, prolific.cafe, Prolific Cafe, and you can find all the details there. Shameless plug, but sorry, not sorry. It is awesome. Okay, so I give them 3 months access to Prolific Cafe, and they get an additional call per week for 3 weeks. So it's an additional 12 calls. Now, it is a group coaching call, but what's really great is if they have extra questions that they have, they can jump on that call and I can help them out. And it's so good. So they paid for 12. They technically get 24. Yes, it's not one-on-one, right? They get the 12 one-on-ones. They get to participate in the 12 additional calls. So that's surprise and delight. They also get a myriad of courses in there, as well as a new course every 6 weeks. And why do I do that? Because I want to add additional value, and I want to really just surprise and delight and add that extra so that they're so dazzled. They're like, I want to stay. I want to do more coaching hours, or I want to join Prolific Cafe after I'm done with my coaching calling card. So again, great, easy thing to do. And again, it's honoring the time slots that I have. Really, really beneficial. So that's how I do it. That's my coaching calling card. It's a new concept that I've come up with. And again, just taking that one concept that I learned and I'm adding it into my own and adding the Voxer access, adding the Prolific Cafe membership access for 12 weeks. So it's like value, 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 and they just love it. So that was my big share on this episode number 50. If you are looking for one-on-one coaching, contact me, reach out to me on social, on Instagram or on Facebook. It's at Patty Dominguez _ or at my website, all the details in the show notes. And I hope you use this concept. It is so fun. It's so easy. And it was able to really kind of break through the objection that was happening of people saying, I don't know that this is the right time for me to commit to coaching, right? Because I don't know if I have that time available with everything going on. So what did I do? I just expanded the notion. And as a result, it's going over really, really well. So I encourage you to test it out for yourself. Let me know if you did do it and if it worked for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And reach out to me. I'd love to hear the success stories that you have had as well as any clarifying questions. And that's what I have for you on this episode 50. I look forward to connecting with you again on the next show. Thank you so much for checking out the Positioning to Profit podcast. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new episodes. And also, it would mean the world to me if you would take a quick moment to leave a rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcast player. It really helps to get the word out about the podcast and, of course, the featured guests. And lastly, please make sure to connect with me on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, I'm on all of them, and use hashtag positioning to profit so that I can search you out and connect that way too. All right. Thanks so much. See you next time.